Game 2 of the 1989 NBA Finals has been sponsored by Miller Genuine Draft. Cold filtered for real draft taste, so tap into the cold. The U.S. Army, where you get an edge on life, be all you can be. And by Chrysler. Chrysler believes a luxury car should be a great driving car. At Chrysler, we're driving to be the best.
The NBA on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports.
United Airlines, from the ground up, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies. When you look for champions, you look to CBS Sports.
This is CBS.
To the average car, this could be a dangerous body of water, even though it's only an inch deep. That's why you should drive the new four-wheel drive Subaru Legacy, the latest in foul weather gear. Take a closer look at the Subaru Legacy and you may end up on another kind of vehicle, a Carnival cruise ship. Grand prize in the Subaru Legacy Take a Closer Look sweepstakes. See your Subaru dealer for details.
Because most of our flights are short, this is what our meals look like on Southwest Airlines. It's also what our fares look like. Southwest Airlines, just $29 to downtown Chicago Midway Airport. You can't say Southwest Airlines doesn't have convenient flight schedules for business people.
Southwest Airlines doesn't have convenient...
What I tell you, Southwest Airlines.
Down here, a paint's worst enemy is the blazing sun. That's why the great American home of Henry Ford is being protected with new Sears Advanced Formula Weather Beater. It's the most durable paint we've ever offered. After all, for over 12 years, Weather Beater has maintained the home next door of Ford's close friend, Thomas Edison. Chances are it's on your neighbor's house, too. Sears Weather Beater, preferred by more homeowners for great American homes like yours.
Congratulations, Pistons, on a job well done.
And now, TV2 Eyewitness News at 11.
Well, it's time to start packing. It came down to the final seconds, but the Pistons head to L.A. with 2 wins under their belt. And the Lakers lose more than just the game. Magic Johnson may be lost for the rest of the finals. Good evening, I'm Sherry Margolis in for Dana Eubanks.
And I'm Joe Glover. Tonight's top story, just 2 to go. The Detroit Pistons are on their way now to a clean sweep, perhaps, against the Lakers after a very close game tonight. But tonight, the big question is the future of Magic Johnson in this series. Fred Heumann is live at the Palace, and Fred, a very rough and tumble night out there tonight.
Yeah, it was. I guess we're used to it with this team, Joe. Just an incredible game for the Pistons because in that first half, it just looked like the Lakers had their number. Everything was going their way, but the Lakers lost Magic Johnson, and that turned out to be the key down the stretch. Let's pick up some of the action in the first quarter. First of all, Magic Johnson, who was very hot in that first half, he comes with a 3-point, Jay. He had 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in the first quarter. That made it 28-18 L.A. After getting the offensive rebound, Joe Dumars circles behind the back dribble, puts up the banker. The Pistons down 3. Dumars 26 in the first half. Dumars comes back in the third quarter. He hits the jump hook. L.A. still up by 4, 70-66. Dumars finishes with 33. Third quarter, 4.5 minutes left, though. Magic Johnson leaves the game, re-injuring a hamstring injury he got at mid-season. He finished with 18 points. You can see the frustration. Lakers go 8 minutes without a field goal. The Pistons on an 18-3 run. This Isaiah scoop hoop makes it 102-95 Pistons with 5.5 minutes left. They hold on to win it 108-105. And Isaiah had 19 points in that second half. It was a great comeback by the Pistons. They win the game. They're up 2-0 in the series, and now they have to win just 2 games of a possible final 5 to be NBA champions for the first time ever. That's the story from on the floor. I want to bring in my colleague, Mike Redford, who has the story from behind the scenes. Mike, tell us what happened.
Well, I'm reporting on the Piston ball boys tonight, Fred. They're here each and every game, almost going unnoticed. But make no mistake, they feel just as responsible for the Pistons winning ways around here as much as anybody else in this building. It's the pregame shoot-around, a time the ball boys look forward to, a chance to mingle with the players. But there is more to the job of a ball boy than you might think.
Taking care of players, watching, after their families, so the players, you just got to kind of keep their mind on the game.
Edwards over Kareem, very tough shot. Robbins saves nicely to Vinnie Johnson.
Come game time, things on the court can really heat up. The players perspire. It's the ball boy who comes to the rescue.
You wipe out the sweat, when they sweat.
Really, no sweat. It's a job you can handle. Unless, of course, you find yourself on court at the wrong time.
I wasn't really paying attention. I was wiping the sweat up. Then I looked back, they were like half court dribbling down here, and I had to run real fast.
But most of the time, they are paying attention. As many as 12 ball boys work each game, tending to the players and coaches' every little whim. For that reason, the ball boys say if the Pistons are to win a championship, they've been instrumental in seeing it happen.
I'd love a championship ring on this finger. That's my ultimate dream.
Quite frankly, most of the Piston ball boys don't expect the Pistons management to be that generous as to give out championship rings to the ball boys if the Pistons do indeed win a championship. And again, who knows? It would certainly fulfill a lot of dreams of a lot of youngsters right here on this court. Reporting live from the Palace, Mike Redford, TV2 Eyewitness News.
Mike, how are these young fellas picked? Are they picked new boys for each ball game, or do some stay through the season?
No, some stay through the season. Most stay about a year. One guy stayed 8 years. They simply apply, send a letter to the Piston management, and somehow they get selected, Joe.
All right, thank you, Mike. Those ball boys range in age from 10 to 18 years old. Most of them stay on the job for only a year, but as Mike has just mentioned, one of those youngsters has been with the team for 8 years. Some of the fans at tonight's game paid well above the list price for tickets, and some of those fans bought their tickets just today from the Michigan Treasury Department. 8 playoff tickets confiscated in a West Bloomfield drug raid last month were auctioned off today. The highest bidder paid $700 for 2 tickets. Altogether, $2,800 raised for the 8 tickets, and that money goes into the Treasury Department's drug fighting fund. Sherry?
In other news, several dozen Melvindale residents are breathing a whole lot easier tonight. They spent a good part of the evening sitting on a powder keg of sorts after military explosives were found buried in a neighbor's yard. The area was evacuated, the situation diffused, and as Teresa Lucanis reports, the search for the person responsible could lead local authorities to the Navy.
The day started with a call to Melvindale police from someone reporting explosives buried in their yard, and city forces mobilized to make sure the day didn't end with a bang. After a search of this home turned up military explosives, the area was evacuated. About 40 people fled their homes for safer ground.
All they said was that there's some explosives buried in the neighbor's backyard, so that's why they told me that we had to leave.
What did they tell you?
That there was a bomb buried in the yard down there on the corner, and that it's a military issue, and they don't know anything about it.
Since they were military explosives, a bomb squad from Selfridge was called in, and they went to work. What they found buried in a box some 3 feet under were 4 live high-explosive 20-millimeter rounds, 1 20-millimeter training round, and 10 cartridge-activated devices.
One alone could have done quite a bit of damage. They could have killed some. We're killing people. We're talking about killing them, maiming them,
It's been a doubly explosive day here in Melvindale. You see, Selfridge was called out twice, not once. The first time early this morning after smoke grenades were found in a vehicle here.
We called the Army because they were Army explosives, and we said, we're down here, we'll do everything we can to take and make it safe until you get here. Now, when you get here, you do your thing, and they did.
Now local authorities are looking to get their man in the Navy. And Gary Allen, whose brother lived in the home, is fairly certain their search will end with his cousin.
Why would your cousin want to have explosives in the backyard?
I don't know. I don't even know why he got him out of the Navy.
Meantime, residents are just glad the explosives are out of their neighborhood. In Melvindale, Teresa Lucanis, TV2 Eyewitness News.
Melvindale police are not releasing the name of the suspect, but they say he could be charged with possession of illegal explosives, and that's a felony. Was a psychiatric patient at a Highland Park hospital who was found dead this week, the victim of a hospital employee. Highland Park police are working to find the answer. 61-year-old Charles Finley was found dead in his room at Detroit Osteopathic Hospital. The Wayne County Medical Examiner says that Finley had been strangled either late Monday night or early Tuesday morning. Finley was kept behind 2 locked doors in the hospital, but administrators would not say whether an employee could have killed him. Joe, one Detroit teenager is dead tonight and 2 others are wounded following a shooting incident on the city's east side.
It happened on the 11,700 block of Minden. Details are sketchy, but police sources tell TV2 it may have been either gang or drug related. A 17-year-old died in that shooting. A 16-year-old is in critical condition, and another 17-year-old is in temporary serious condition. Both of the injured teenagers are in St. John Hospital. Secretary of State James Baker says the United States is not sure who's in charge in China, but he adds there is evidence of a power struggle among top leadership. For now, the fighting has calmed down, but Americans are still jamming the Beijing airport, hoping to escape the turmoil. U.S. Ambassador to China, James Lilly, saw the first U.S. chartered flight of Americans off today. He also denounced reports that the embassy is lagging in its efforts to get U.S. citizens out of China. Meanwhile, China's Premier Li Peng was seen on TV today for the first time in 2 weeks. He lauded troops for a good job in enforcing martial law. The government is also ordering pro-democracy leaders to surrender or face severe punishment. Following President Bush's first formal nighttime news conference since taking office, it is clear that the crisis in China is weighing heavily on his mind. Tonight, the president defended his suspension of military sales to China, saying that that is a correct response to the violent suppression of the pro-democracy movement. Bush also said relations between the United States and China cannot be normal until the communist government recognizes the rights of those who are demanding reform.
What I want to do is preserve this relationship as best I can, and I hope the conditions that lie ahead will permit me to preserve this relationship. I don't want to pass judgment on individual leaders, but I want to make very clear to those leaders and to the rest of the world that the United States denounces the kind of brutality that all of us have seen on our television.
Among other issues covered in tonight's news conference were Iran after Khomeini, AIDS, the Soviet Union, and NATO.
Coming up next on Eyewitness News, Mother Nature deals a blow to the south as a tornado moves through a small Louisiana town.
Something goes wrong during an air show in Paris.
And imagine driving along during rush hour and having a plane cut in front of you. We'll explain next.
It's Highland Superstore's employees-only sale, where you can get discounts of 5 to 40% on audio, video, and appliances if you're a Highland employee. Or a friend of a Highland employee. Okay, an acquaintance of an acquaintance of an employee. But that's it.
Right now, get this Magnavox 13-inch portable color TV with remote control for just $249.
All right, residents of the U.S., but not Canada. Okay, Canada too.
Highland's employees-only sale, Thursday and Friday.
All right, Saturday too.
This week, Dunham sale. Prices flat. Dunham at 10 Detroit area locations. Hurry! Sale. Huge selection of brand names. Dunham, low price, lowest price, guaranteed for 60 days. Guaranteed for Father's Day. Get Dad this golf cart, $10 off, just $39.99. This stair climber exerciser, $20 off, just $99.99. Or this 12-by-12-foot screen house, only $39.99. Huge savings. Hurry! Big sale. This week only. Dunham.
In case it hasn't hit you yet, Dunham's is having a big sale.
Grand Marquis GS offers room to move with its 6-passenger interior, the largest trunk in America, plus V8 power and a savings of $500 when you buy an option package that includes all this. Make your move to Grand Marquis. See Crest, Sterling Heights, Bob.